Alrighty, so I just wanted to mention something, talk about something, and as many of you might be familiar with these Japanese beetles here, Popillia japonica is their name. I might have not pronounced that properly, but so these scarab beetles, they literally reproduce on and devour this plant. Like, they are going to completely devour this bush. This bush is usually nice and bright yellow, but since we've had this influx of Japanese beetles in the past decade, I guess, it literally turns brown so quickly. And so what I've tried in the past is I've done those pheromone traps. So you hang a trap, it attracts the Japanese beetles to it, and then they go inside the trap, which is like it's like just like a basically some sort of bag that they can't get out of, and it gets really disgusting in there. When I've done it, it's caught 1,000+ of them, and there ends up being so many in there, kind of still alive. And I don't know if they're mating in there or what, but they like poop and pee on each other. There's just thousands, hundreds or thousands, just, one on top of the other. It gets to be really disgusting. And I think it only attracts those. Like, I've only seen the Japanese beetles in there, maybe like a couple one-offs of other bugs, like one or two, but basically it's the Japanese beetles. The only thing is I don't feel good killing thousands of insects. My dad's solution is he just wants to remove this plant, and which, like, sure, yeah, that'll kind of work, right? Like, they won't have a food source, but they'll just move on to something else, like the hostas. They really seem to enjoy those as well. And there's like a list of like 200+ plants that they extremely like. And then, but they'll eat like almost anything. I've seen them on my cannabis, hemp. They're on the not the marigolds, the magnolia bush in the back. I've seen them on the tomato plants, the zucchini plants, the rhubarb. They'll basically go on anything. So one thing that I do that I don't feel as bad about doing, which is, a little more tedious and a little more work, is I get a jar, some sort of container, a bucket, you can, whatever basically is easiest for you, and you put some water and some soap in it. So dish soap, liquid dish soap. What that does is it creates a surface layer that the beetles can't get out of. So a lot of insects can sit on top of water, the water molecules, and they don't fall in. So just water doesn't work. But if you add the dish soap to it, it creates a little layer of oil on top of the water. And so when they try to sit on it, they break that layer and they slip right under. So that's my little way. And then I just go around by hand, knocking them in. So I'll see if I can maybe show you an example of what I do. They're smart and they know what I'm doing. So sometimes they just get away, but yeah, I just basically do that. I'm not sure if you saw that. But yeah, I just go up to them, kind of help them in there. Oh, hopefully before they fly away. They end up figuring it out though, and it's like they tell each other. But this bush literally gets covered by them. Absolutely covered. Oh, that one. A lot of the time they'll just fall, they'll just drop and fall to the ground. Oh, there they go. Oh, jeez. I don't like them. They freak me out. I know they're not like bad for like, you know, they're not really gonna bite me or anything, but I still don't like it. Also, sometimes there might be other bugs that will be on the plants, so you gotta just be careful. One thing that you can do, if you don't feel comfortable doing this or doing the pheromone trap way, is you can get predators to these beetles, which off the top of my head, I don't know any. I'm sure there are some, so getting something like a parasitic wasp, they are like you can order a bunch of those online, or maybe go to like a garden store or an insect store if there's one local to you. But yeah, if you buy these parasitic wasps, they will just basically kill all the bad bugs for you. You know, they might also try to kill some good bugs, but what you try to do is you try to find the kind that are, you know, attracted to the bugs that you want to get rid of. So you try to find those predators, make sure it doesn't interfere with other insects in your area. You see right there, there's a really good spot. Like, look at them all. Look at that cluster. I'm gonna try to get those in my jar. But like, look, they're everywhere here. It's so unfortunate. They literally destroy the plants, and it's, you know, I understand that there's like a circle of life and some things are necessary to happen, you know, but I'm sure there's something else, you know, that can be here, you know, or I'm having difficulty figuring out the word, and I don't want to just say I don't like this, so therefore I don't want it here. But that's kind of what it is. I would prefer it if it goes somewhere else and does something else. But yeah, so you can see this. The brown leaves there. That's what it does. It basically destroys your plants. So if you start seeing this type of leaf, and you're wondering why it looks like that, then there's a good chance that, I'm not saying that it's going to be this bug, but there's a good chance that something's damaging it. And if you live in an area where Japanese beetles are prevalent, especially if one of your plants, if you have plants on the list that they really like, then there's a good chance that, yeah, they'll be in the area, and that they'll attack them. So, just another thing that I want to mention. So, if you do end up getting those pheromone traps, you just got to be careful, because those attract Japanese beetles, right? So, what you want to do is if you do get the trap, you want to go and put it somewhere on the property away from plants that you want to protect. So, let's try to give you an example. So this plant is right here, right? The vegetable garden down there. So I would probably want to put it further away from everything, you know? Like last year I put one way in the back corner there. Turns out that it was an apple tree, which is really interesting, because I didn't know that there was one here. But yeah, so, and it did a little bit of damage to it, not too much, but it did do some. So you just want to make sure that you put it on trees that you don't think it's going to eat. And you got to be careful as well, because, you know, I hung it from, it wasn't this type of pine, or pine? Yeah, fir. It wasn't this type of tree. I hung it on another one I hung on, I don't know exactly what it is, but I thought it was a type of pine, thinking that they wouldn't eat anything on it, but they did. They still ate it. So what they do is they try to eat like the newest growth. So the softest spots that haven't fully developed and formed yet. That's what they like to do. They like to eat the buds of your new plants. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. And hopefully we can try to reduce the population of these things, because yeah, I don't like having to see the bush look literally like this, like skeletonized. It skeletonizes the leaves and branches. It looks like crap now, So whereas it should look like bright, I don't even think I can show you a good example. It should be looking more like this, Flowers should be looking like that. Instead, they look like this. So yeah. All right, hope everyone has a great day, and enjoy setting up your traps of whatever sort you decide to choose. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll see if I can answer them. If not, I can point you in the right direction. Peace.